everyone, and good evening, and welcome to today's session on leading sustainability. Today, we have with us Mr. Arvind Kamath, and he comes with 25 plus years of experience in the corporate world, working for MNCs like IBM, HP, Infosys, and post which he pursued his calling in the social sector. And his passion towards the education of children living in rural areas got him associated with Shankar Mahadevan Academy Trust and Happy World Foundation. And recently, in 2022, he founded NGO called Sharada Educational Trust, focused on rural education and women empowerment in Karnataka. And so far, the NGO has impacted more than 1,500 children and women through programs such as financial literacy for rural kids, spoken English online course, planting saplings in the government schools and whatnot. And he is also a qualified cost and management accountant and company secretary with MBA in banking from CFA Institute. And I request everyone to make the most out of this session, ask as many questions as possible, and make this session engaging. So thank you so much, Mr. Arvind, for agreeing to do a session with us. And with this, I'll let you take over from here.
So if you see the life map here, you can see it, right? 1967 was the year when I was born and schooled in within 71 to 83, and then attended colleges from 83 to 88. So the reason why you see schools and colleges is because my dad was in a transferable job. He was a banker, and we used to move around with him almost all over India. But we were predominantly in Maharashtra and in the north. In 88 to 90, I completed my CMA, which is also called cost accountancy, and company secretaryship. This was in Delhi. So after internship, we moved to Mumbai, and then I started my career in Mumbai actually. So initially, I was a sub broker on the Bombay Stock Exchange. So I'm very much into the financial markets even now. So and then I took up a job with Nicholas Piramal. So that was Piramal's first foray into the pharma world, and he's now called the pharma king. He has bought and sold so many pharma companies, but that was his first company. So this was in 1990. So I worked in the finance or finance and accounting for almost 8 years, and then I moved to Bangalore, and this is when my journey into the IT sector started. And I was into pure play IT. I was not in finance in IT, but I was into IT technology and IT consulting. So that was a huge shift for me in the year 1998, which continued right up to 2015. And as Nia introduced, I worked for companies like Ramco Systems in Chennai. You can see Chennai here in the box there. And then followed by iGate, Infosys, Hewlett Packard, HP, and then IBM. IBM was my last corporate outing. I quit IBM in April 2015. So during this period, I took up a challenge, to do MBA in bank at the age of 40 in the year 2008. So it was a long process. It took me almost 2 years. It was part-time MBA, but then I wanted to do an MBA, though it was just an ornament for me, but had no value in my career or anything. But yeah, I got a lot of knowledge about banking and finance through this MBA. And during this period, I traveled on work or leisure to almost 28 countries. So this was the great exposure that the global exposure that I got, knowing people from other countries, how people work in other countries, etc. So from here, it was not directly into the social sector that I jumped into. I was a startup entrepreneur for about 3 years, from 2015 to 2018. So it was a edtech company called Jnana.com, Vaidikshala.com, which was then acquired by the NR Group, Cycle Pure Agarbattis Group. They wanted to enter into the e-learning space. So we were offering online languages. We are teaching languages like Sanskrit, then Hindi, Kannada, etc., to a global audience. So it was doing quite well. That's the reason NR Group wanted to buy out this startup from us, and then I remained with them for about a year as a consultant. And 2018 is when my journey into the social sector actually started. So just recently, I completed 5 years in social sector, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm 56 now. So it started with 𝐿 Academy Trust. So you may know Shankar Mahadevan, the famous singer. He is a Padma Shri awardee. So he started a foundation or a trust in the year 2013 or 14, and they were looking for somebody to head their country, the operations at the country level. And we started with Inspire India program, which is music to the underprivileged, and then followed by education in the rural areas called Design of Life. So these were a couple of initiatives that I was involved with them. And then, COVID happened. And just before COVID, I also did, you can see a Gandhi Fellowship, which was in Ahmedabad. So we had to go to Sabarmati Ashram. It was about a week's program organized by Lead Like Gandhi Fellowship. So there I met the founder of Happy World Foundation. So Happy World Foundation is basically into planting trees. So they are more into the environment related space. So that's where I met the founder, and I got associated with him as an advisor and a consultant, and I continue to this date. And most of the programs that we are running today, in my NGO is basically in partnership with Happy World Foundation. So in April 2022, about 15, 16 months ago, I started Sharada Educational Trust. And that was my dream actually, to start something on my own, so that whatever vision I had, especially in education and women empowerment, that could be achieved through this trust. So we have just completed 16 months now, but operationally we started in November 2022. We are yet to complete a year, but we have done a lot of things, a lot of impactful programs that we have executed. Maybe what we can do is a quick round of introduction, very quick, just to understand the audience.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
My name is Dr. 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐚𝐿. I'm basically a PhD in accounting, and not had as a wonderful life journey as you, but I have studied across in two countries, and worked with a government organization as an MBA instructor, and then also private place. And right now I'm again working for a private place and I teach MBA students. And my inclination during my research, I kind of developed a liking for sustainability projects, and that's what brought me to this program. So I'm trying to understand not the accounting perspective, but also a little bit of the social and environmental aspect of sustainability.
Right, was it Meha? Yeah, okay, got it.
Okay, my name is Ananta, and
Yeah.
I've been in the corporate. Incidentally, accidentally, I was with IBM for about 9 years.
Oh, wow.
From 2006 to 2013. End of 13 is when I quit. And I started because I had a lot of passion towards recruitment, etc. So I got into executive search. So I continue to do that. Recently, I have also kind of a certified independent director. Then along with that, as a skill, I thought sustainability is something that I should get into, and that's how I got into SLX, this program. Basically an engineer and with 32 years of experience as a
Wow.
That's my.
Yeah. Thank you, Ananta. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Sandeep Vaikole. I am a polymer engineer with MBA and my program management PhD. So I belong to Pune, and I come from automotive tier 1 background. And currently I'm heading organization. I am heading the Furasia for electronics division. So that is my current role.
Thank you, Sandeep.
Hello, sir. Good evening. My name
Good
is
evening.
Vishakha. My educational background is that I did my graduation in biotechnology. Then I did my MBA in marketing, and I got into the research and intelligence field, which is why for the past 12 years I'm working in market intelligence. Currently, I'm associated with Kyndryl, I'm working there into market intelligence, and I got this opportunity to work for the ESG related scenario for IT sustainability, wherein I developed interest into the sustainability field, which is why I collaborated with SLX to know more. And this has been a really enjoyable journey so far.
Okay.
And nice meeting you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, same here. Kyndryl was earlier IBM, right? Technology
Yes,
Services Group. Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
2 years back. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Vishaka.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, thanks, Vishaka. And to continue the commonality again, Arvind sir, I'm
Yeah.
currently
No, you can
an
call me
entrepreneur.
Arvind, all of you, no? Instead of
Okay,
I'm not a
yeah,
professor
sure.
or a yeah, please.
I have a habit if I get into a teaching kind of environment, so every person who lectures is a sir for me or
Oh,
ma'am.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
So regardless of age. Anyway, so Arvind, I'm currently an entrepreneur, founding member of 𝐬𝐵𝐺𝐲 Energy Private Limited. And also I'm, been in the industry, IT corporate industry for last 17 years, with last 7 years with Shell Oil and Gas. And yeah, my primary objective, business objective, is to focus on sustainability and look at accelerate the energy transition towards net zero.
Excellent.
Hello, sir. Good evening. My
Good
name is Renju. I'm
Uh-huh.
basically a power engineer by qualification, and then I've done my MBA in marketing. I'm currently working with a chemical company in Bangalore. I'm in sales profile currently, and I've been very keen on recycling and waste management and all that right from my graduation. So I wanted to move into that industry. So that's how I ended up in this. I joined this course when I found this course to be really useful. So that's how I am here.
Yeah. Thanks, Renju.
My name is Salim. I'm working with Cochin Shipyard. Basically a mechanical engineer by profession, and after that I did my industrial safety engineering as a specialized course. And I'm working as a chief safety officer of Cochin Shipyard. Companies moving with the ESG area, so I would like to know more about these ESG frameworks. So I get into a CIA program and SLX connector. So that's why I'm in this course.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, thanks. So we have participants from across India now, right? Bangalore, then we had Maharashtra, from Cochin.
I'm from Delhi.
Delhi, yeah. No, this program that you are attending now, the certification program, so that is online, right? You don't have to be in Bangalore to attend it. The sustainability
Yes.
program.
Yes, sir. I'm actually in Bangalore itself, but
Oh, you're in
the
Bangalore.
sessions are, yeah, I'm from Pune, but in Bangalore. But yes, the sessions are completely online.
Online,
And
okay.
yes, and we also have the privilege of attending it on our own time. Sometimes we are busy with our meetings and all. So we do get the recorded sessions as well,
Okay.
apart from the main knowledge platform.
Okay, great. Okay, so we have the PPT up and running now. So
Yeah.
I will need Neha's help to navigate, maybe slide by slide. So so this is the, just the introduction, and so this is how our website also looks like, and whatever programs that we have in the rural areas. I'm going to talk about that. And I've used a quote from Nelson Mandela, and it's such a powerful statement. Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. So it's a very powerful statement that he has made, and I wanted this to be on the website. So the motto of the NGO is empowering lives through education. So I think education is the most important thing. We say, okay, healthcare, environment, etc. But then you'll understand as we go forward in the PPT how education also helps environment. So there is a very unique program that we do where education is part of, or education and environment go together. So we can go to the next slide, Neha. Okay, so these are the programs that we do. So in the rural areas, and then I've mentioned online, and then the urban and rural areas both. So the first one is what I'm going to talk in detail about the school sapling program, which we conduct in government schools not within the city, but just outside the city, maybe 50, 60, or maybe 100 kilometers radius from Bangalore. That's what we do because of certain reasons. You'll know why. And we target kids aged 8 to 12, not less, not younger or lesser than 8 or not older than 12. So there is a reason behind it as well. So why we target only 8 to 12 years old kids. And then we have other project called Project Nyanshala, which I'm extremely passionate about, is spreading financial literacy among rural school students, like the importance of banking or importance of finance at a very young age. Most of the private schools or most of the schools in the city, international schools, etc., have a subject on financial literacy. But in the rural areas, they are extremely unfortunate not to have such subjects in there. So that is something that we conduct in government schools. And we also set up libraries. This could be offline libraries like books coming from Pratham Books, or we also have online libraries where we have content which is given to them on desktop computers, where we donate computers and also the online books along with the stories. The third one that you see is, which is a very recent development, we have started spoken English course for rural school, government school teachers. It is not for the students who are in the rural areas, but we are targeting the teachers, because I think they are the ones who need education first before they even go and teach the kids. We have seen a lot of teachers even teaching English struggling to speak very simple sentences in English. So that's the reason why we thought, okay, we should target the government school teachers, and then they will then teach the children offline in the classroom. And then we also introduce this to the college students, especially the girls who come from, of course, from the underprivileged background, and they have studied in the regional medium, or what you call the vernacular medium, like Kannada, Marathi, Tamil. So they come from that background, and they're struggling when they come to college, where they have to study or learn in English, and they struggle when they have to attend interviews or even in the academics as well. And then the last program is financial inclusion. So this is also a program that is much needed, but hardly paid attention to. Though we hear a lot of noise coming from politicians about talking about financial inclusion, about so many government schemes that are available. I'm talking about central government schemes which hardly reach the people. Reason being, there is no dissemination of information for these people. Forget rural areas. We have seen even in Bangalore, most of them are not even aware of a Jandan account. Just such a basic thing to have for them, which gives them a lot of benefits. So they go and open, SB accounts, savings bank account, which has minimum balance to be kept. They're not even aware about the benefit of this, and there's so many insurance schemes that are available without premium. They're not aware about these schemes. And then we also provide the last mile support with bank types. It's not just giving them the gyan or the knowledge about these schemes. It's also about taking them to the bank, making them feel comfortable, holding camps, along with the banks in partnership with them, and then opening their account or even applying for the various schemes. So we'll go to the next one, Neha. So this is the program which I will perhaps talk in detail. This is very close to what we call environment-related sustainability. So as we go to the next slide, I've detailed out. So at a higher level, the explanation is this. So we identify. No, go back to the previous screen. So we identify a government school in rural areas. As I mentioned, we don't go beyond 100 kilometers, because sometimes we need, or there are a lot of volunteers who are interested to come for these programs on weekends, especially on Saturdays, not on Sundays. If it is more than 100 kilometers, becomes difficult for them. So we target schools which are within 100-kilometer radius from Bangalore, not in Bangalore. And you'll know the reason why not in Bangalore, because the program is a bit unique program, where we involve kids not just planting trees within the premises, but also they have to carry the saplings which we give them, and they have to plant near their homes, which is not possible in a city like Bangalore or any big city in India. We provide an educational session. I think this is the most important thing that we do here, providing an educational session for an hour, which talks about the importance of protecting our environment, the importance of planting trees, the benefits that we get from planting trees, the nutritional and healthy food, the nutritional food habits that they need to follow. And also, we also empower the children about achievement of their goals, building their confidence level, providing tips on nutrition at low cost. So this is something that we do in the educational session, which starts with that about an hour. And then post the session, we give them saplings. We plant saplings along with the kids in the school premises, and then 2 fruit saplings are given to them, and a cash award is given to the students who show the result. So we have conducted in the last 10 months, or we have conducted 5 events so far. Most of that has been hampered due to the vacation, etc. So considering the holidays, etc., we plan it in such a way that it is kept on a Saturday, so that we get adequate volunteers to support us. So far, more than 500 children have been impacted. And as I said, the target group is between 8 to 12, not older, not younger. And so far, about 25 saplings have been planted within the school premises, and 1,000 odd saplings have been donated to the students. If you look at the average of 2 per student, more than 1,000 have been donated to the students. So we'll go to the next slide. Yeah, so I'll go into the detail now, and you can stop me at any stage, or you can stop me anytime you have any question for me about this program. So as I said, we start the program or start the session, with an educational session. Basically, it covers empowering the children, achievement of the. We ask them questions like, "Who is your hero?" And then they say, "Okay." It could be like Ambedkar, Gandhi, and then we also give them a chit of a small piece of paper and ask them to write what is the goal that they want to achieve in their life, and which they have to keep it with them. And then we also build self-confidence and esteem. We conduct a small role play kind of thing, where we invite 2 students to come face to face. So one student has to say what he or she wants to achieve. So we are surprised that most of the students want to become teachers, which is very rare, because most of them will say we want to become doctors, engineers. But we have seen during our events in these government schools, most of them want to become teachers. Perhaps they have seen how tough the life is, without having quality education or without having quality teaching. So perhaps that has prompted them. And then the other child, the other student who is identified, has to ask questions to the person, why you want to become teacher. It has several disadvantages and all these things. And then the girl or the boy has to answer why they want to become a teacher. So this is what we try to do by building their confidence and esteem. And then we provide tips on healthy food habits and nourishment at low cost. Then a session on protecting natural resources, benefits of planting trees, and we also show them theoretically how to plant a sapling. It's not just go dig and then plant a sapling. So there is a process involved. The steps and important tips related to planting a sapling is taught to the students during this 1-hour session. Yeah, we can move to the next one. Next slide. So here you can see the images here where the volunteers are distributing green grams, and you're also giving them chickies, groundnut chickies. So why we do that is because we don't want to give them an impression that you get a lot of proteins or carbohydrates or whatever through by having meals in a fancy restaurant. Of course, I think the city students need this more than the rural kids. So what we do is we give them a handful of green gram to them, and we also tell them that you should soak the green gram at night and have it in the morning. It's an extremely good nutritional this thing for you, the nutritional food for you, and at a very low cost. We also give them groundnut chickies. You can see the kind of analysis that we have done. For green grams, 100 grams of moong has about 16 grams of fiber and 24 grams of protein. And in the groundnut chickies, it's a powerhouse of vitamins and minerals. It's high in protein, fats, fiber, minerals, so many vitamins you can see, folate, magnesium, etc. So this is something that we give them, and these are all like low cost. It is not very expensive, but it gives them extremely good nutritious food, to these kids, and that is what we tell them. And the next slide. Now the outdoor activity starts from here. So all this was within the classroom. So we have about 80 to 100 children attending the session in the classroom. And then we come out, and then what they've learned theoretically, we also show them how to do it practically as well. So you can see the first image here, the boys are digging the ground. We also have a digger. So when I say we, as I said, we partner with an NGO. The NGO's name is Happy World Foundation. They specialize in planting trees. They do a lot of afforestation programs in Bangalore and in Karnataka as a whole. So you can see the children digging ground here in the first image. The second one is planting or rather inserting the sapling within the whatever the hole that they have dug, and they have to remove the plastic which is surrounding the sapling there. And then you can see the girls there planting it and then watering that in the last image. And then of course photo opportunity and selfies along with the sapling. So we plant about 4 to 6, so depending on the space available within the school premises, we plant about 4 to 6 saplings in their presence, where they also support, like from digging the pit to watering the saplings after plantation. We also encourage the teachers as well to be part of the initiative, because we want them to monitor and supervise the growth of the saplings given to the children later on. Somebody is not talking, you can keep it on mute. Yeah, so the next slide. I think we can hear somebody who's okay, yeah. Somebody has to be on mute. Then we donate 2 fruit saplings to each student, and then we also take a pledge from them that they're going to take care of the sapling until they're grown, or until they start bearing fruits. How do you protect them against maybe cows or goats? They'll come and start eating them. So we tell them how to do that, and also a small nominal amount is given to these students to maintain the sapling, so that they are not ignored. And as I mentioned, the teachers are also involved in supervising the progress. You can see in the images here, the first one, the gifting of the saplings, the pledge that is being taken by the kids, and the kids carrying the saplings home. You can see them here in the images. The last slide. Last slide on the program. Yeah, one more. Yeah, there's one more slide on this program. So this is where the children have to send their photos along with the sapling. So these are perhaps 3 months to 6 months old sapling that have grown, and then we also track that using GPS. So we can see the locations here. The Google Map locations are also there. So it's not that once we give them, they're all but forgotten. We keep track of the saplings. Of course, we can't say that whatever we have given them, they will survive. But at least there is about 90% success rate in the saplings. And the nominal amount is given to the students for maintaining the fruit sapling. We also choose the top 3 students who show results. Somebody who shows that, okay, I've got a fruit, because these are all fruit saplings that we give. Chiku, guava, these kind of saplings we give them. And then they are given cash awards like 1,000 rupees, 750, 500 rupees. Based on the progress that they have shown. The next slide. So any questions so far on this initiative before we go to the Nyanshala project? But this is more about financial literacy and library, etc. Do we have any questions on the initiative on planting saplings with the government school students? Please feel free to ask.
So, Mr. Arvind, how do you, how is the funding for your NGO to run this program?
Okay, it is Ananta Prasad, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's a good question. So when I so that's what Dr. Basanna wanted me to talk about capitalism to socialism. So I can't straight away from capitalist to I can't become a socialist overnight. So there is some amount of capitalism in me. Like as I said, I also do a lot of investments, etc. And whatever savings and that I had, over a period of 25 years in the corporate world. Um, so all that has been invested, and also just before starting in the month of March 2022, just 1 month before, I sold an apartment in Electronic City, so that fetched a good price. Of course, today I would have got more because that was just after COVID. So the money has been invested. I don't have to talk about in the capital market where I get good returns. So what I've done is I want this NGO to be sustainable. I don't want to go to CSRs or maybe the corporates or maybe HNIs at this stage, at least for the next 3 years, where I want the NGO to show results, and then perhaps go for them. So currently, the answer to your question is most of the funding comes from myself, from my own investments that is yielding good returns, and also a few of my relatives, my parents, of course, and then a few friends, who say, okay, Arvind, we trust you. No, we don't have trust in other NGOs, but we know that whatever money we give you will go into the right cause. So there are very few friends who support this initiative, but I have not gone full hog crowdfunding, or maybe recently there was Dan Utsav. We were not part of that initiative at all. I didn't want to maybe go all out looking for funds. So it's all in a self-sustainable model at the moment. So most of the funding comes from our side. We don't go to corporates at all at this stage. And we partner with Happy World Foundation. Again, we fund them. So they give their people their expertise. So if you have seen, there was a guy taking the sessions, taking the pledge, etc. He comes from Happy World Foundation. He's not our employee. So our NGO is very light. We don't have an office. So the home office, the home is the office for the NGO. We don't have employees. Most of the employees are like the part-time employees we get from other partner NGOs. So that helps the NGOs as well, because those NGOs are small. They also need funds to sustain their programs. So it's a win-win situation for both of us. So that is how the funding happens, or rather the programs are funded by us. So I hope I've answered your question, Ananta.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it makes a lot of sense to initially when you start.
Yeah.
And the other one is, most of us keep looking at somebody because we don't know wherever we send money, we don't know how it is being used.
Yeah, correct.
And you have your relative circle, friend circle, and they believe in you. I think it's a better way of using that money and putting it into a better use. I think
in fact,
you're doing a great job.
Yeah. In fact, we had a surplus last year. There are so many regulations, and thanks to my friends, I had to go for ATG. Otherwise, I didn't want to even go for ATG at the moment. But then I had to go because most of them, they said, we want to fund you, but they want ATG. Of course, we can't say that. So there is some selfish motive for some people, to claim the tax benefits. So we have applied for ATG, etc., and we have got it. But then, I've seen while being associated with Shankar Mahadevan Academy Trust and even with Happy World Foundation, because I didn't start the NGO just without getting an experience. I worked 4 years, the entire operation, not just in managing the events, in operations, in managing because I'm a finance guy, so managing the finances, fundraising, social media. So I do social media as well. The entire website has been built by me. I didn't need any support to even build the website for the NGO content. The spoken English content we are talking about, all this content is reused. Again, your sustainability comes. It's not a new, fresh content. All the content has come from my startup, where we used to teach languages. So all in all, the experience has taught me a lot of things. And then I also realized while being part of the earlier NGOs, how difficult it is to even get funding. I know when I first went for a fundraising, my first ever fundraising that I did for Happy World, for Shankar Mahadevan Academy Trust, getting 2 lakhs from Salesforce which is an American company. I know how much I struggled, and then I realized getting this 2 lakhs and how much of struggle that we have to put in. You have to make PPTs, you have to go and meet them, you have to put your case, then you have to give evidence and so many things. I thought, why to do all this? Use your own money, start showing results, start showing impact. Automatically, donors will start coming in. So that is what belief that I have. It's a self-sustainable. It's almost like a bootstrapped entrepreneurship. When I started even the edtech company, it was all bootstrapped. No, it was not run with the capital or maybe with the money coming in from investors, etc. So that's the lesson I've learned. Money will come on its own. I don't have to chase. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have that entrepreneurship that you did for 3 years.
Exactly.
So you've gone through that struggle, and you have also worked with several NGO, etc., where you know how the whole thing works. So I think that has really helped you. I think it's I think it's a good start. I think for the first year, you've done a
And
good
the
job.
NGO also needs a lot of compliance, etc. Means a lot of financial reporting, etc., which is required for compliance. I mean, for IT. Like today morning, I was in the IT department. She was surprised, the IT officer. I said, I did it on my own. No, you didn't take any help from a consultant or from a CA. I said, yeah, just for the chapa. No, I had to go to the CA because my son is a CA, but then he's not a practicing CA. So just for the rubber stamp, I have to go to a CA. But the entire financial reports, they want 3 to 4 years projections and so many things that they ask for because of the TG registration. So all this I can do myself. And coming to technology again, I'm really a tech freak. I love a tech. Of course, today you will be surprised. I failed in Microsoft Teams, but then sometimes it happens. Technology can always ditch you at the last moment. But yeah, I'm a tech freak and I love exploring new tech tools. Like GeoMeet is something that we use for spoken English, and it is doing quite well actually at a low cost. It's very popular, GeoMeet. So this is something. And then social media marketing, etc., I've learned on my own. It's not that I gained experience while working for corporates. This is something that I attended self-certified programs, and on my own I've learned how to do social media marketing, how to make videos. I even make videos. I even whatever short videos that are required to be shown to our donors or to the people about what we are doing. So all this is I've learned on my own. To be done. So it's all entirely a self-sustainable model that I've built. There's no dependency on, say, hiring people, because I know how difficult it is to hire people even in the NGOs. The attrition rate is very high. I've seen both in the 2 NGOs that I was associated. People do not stick for more than 4 to 6 months. They just look out for better opportunities. They join with a lot of hope, saying, I'm very passionate about environment, I'm very passionate about education, but when comes to money, there's no passion. So I've seen that side as well. So then I thought, why not partner with smaller NGOs? It's a win-win for us because they need money, they need funds. We have funds, we don't have people, we don't have the what you call the people on the ground. So we need them, they need us. So that's a very good partnership that we have built with more than one NGO, not just Happy World, with others as well. That is how we are running these programs in government schools and other rural areas, etc. Any other question? Yeah.
Fantastic. Great job.
Thanks.
Sir, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yeah, you're already audible. Yeah. Who is this? Renju, is it?
Biswa here.
Biswa, yeah.
So which other rural areas are you targeting in and around Bangalore? Is it Bangalore rural or beyond Bangalore
just give me
rural?
1 second. Okay, your video is off. Okay, that's why I was fine. So so we have for the school sapling program that you have seen just now, we have targeted Ramanagara district, which is in Kanakpura Taluka. Then we have
Bangalore rural it is, right?
Yeah, the Bangalore rural. So that comes under Ramanagara district. But yeah, today you heard a statement from our
Ramanagara is
Deputy CM that Kanakpura may come within Bangalore, etc. But as of now, it's in Ramanagara. Devanhalli is another area which comes under Bangalore rural. We do there, and then Chikkaballapur district. is also another place that
I
we
know. Yeah, yeah.
and then Mandya. These are the 4 districts that we have targeted so far in Mandya. So whatever you have seen, 5. Uh, the reason why there are only 5, not more, we could have done more. I wanted to see how these programs are being adopted in different districts. So 2 were done in one district, but the other 3 were done in 3 different districts. So now we are confident that okay, the adoption is very good and the reception, they receive it quite well. So we then can maybe go to other districts. There are a lot of inquiries coming from other states as well, like Tamil Nadu, etc. So we told them that you can maybe send your people here because it can't be done online. Honestly, they have to come and experience themselves how we do it, and then they have to go and maybe have tie-ups with the forest department to get the sapling, and there's a big process involved there. So these are the 4 districts that we have targeted so far, and we plan to do many more going forward. And we may even go beyond 100 kilometers, because right now we wanted to test it within 100 kilometers radius from Bangalore, but we may do it further. We tried doing it in Bangalore as well, but then it has not worked out quite well, because the model here, the one of the important step here is to give them the fruit saplings where they have to plant near their home. So this is something that we have not got a good response within the Bangalore city, within the city of Bangalore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that those areas are actually pretty adjacent areas to Bangalore. I understand.
Exactly.
But Arvind, what I was, I stay in Bangalore urban, but at the outskirts, Anekal, right? And one of the challenges or one of the issues that I see is a poor farming practice, right? Since those areas, the children, I'm assuming, are from rural families who are like, some of them are farmers.
Exactly.
Their parents would be farmers.
Yeah.
Do you have any plan in mind to educate them, or they educate, in a way? I don't know how it happens, but if the kids you are educating are not going to come into farming, but maybe how we can educate to avoid a bad farming practice. Because, I was reading an article today published where most farmers in and around are using a lot of sewage water, sewage or wastewater that contains a high amount of lead and a lot of other metals. Right. And organic farming is expensive, of course. It is not viable by all the people. So planting trees is fine, but what I was thinking is, focusing on sustainable farming would be also a good option there. Because I'm saying that would be more efficient because they are directly from a farming community. But beginning coming back to your venture, I think the idea of the win-win where you're tying up with folks, because I do understand the pain of attrition, right? The moment you figure out that you have got the talent and the talent is gone, right?
Exactly.
So I think that is a win-win for you to do a partnership. I think that's the way we probably have to get into B2B model mostly. But my recommendation, my suggestion here would be, Arvind, to not only focus on planting the trees, because that's what everyone is doing, right? Everyone is planting the trees and all, literacy and all, everyone is doing. But what is happening is they would do all that, but if I was having kind of a NGO, I would rather focus on good farming practice. That is also a plus point, is what I'm saying.
You're right.
I see there's a rampant depletion of groundwater because for quick timber they plant eucalyptus. You have seen this in Bangalore, right?
Yeah, correct.
That's happening everywhere, and a lot of depletion happening of forest. Also
exactly, Ananta. Exactly, because
but
you don't need drip irrigation or nothing.
Vishwa, the point is his target audience is 8 to 12.
No, I'll come to that.
If he is going to bring probably the parents of these kids,
correct.
Also in that session, then probably what you're saying will make sense, because 8 to 12 you can't.
But it is difficult, right? But that's the challenge.
I'll answer your question, Biswa. No, it's a very good point that you have raised, and we have. So I'll just go back to the year 2020 when the pandemic and etc. Me and the Happy World Foundation founder, as I mentioned, we met during the Gandhi Fellowship in Ahmedabad. We struck very good friendship because like-minded people, right? So we were talking about the same thing that you mentioned, like and that was the time when the migrant population was going back to their villages, that was the period. So we talked about a similar program, but yeah, again, it was not 8 to 12. It was more about the youth that we are planning, how to teach them the same thing that you mentioned about farming, but yeah, the points that you have given me about groundwater depletion and sewage water, etc., that was not discussed. But that's a good point. I've noted it down. I can go back and talk to Santosh. He's a good friend of mine, and then I can say whether we can revive that initiative, because that initiative finally went into cold storage. COVID went away, and even the initiative went along with that. So it's time to revisit that initiative where we were targeting youth, because we didn't want them to. It's very easy to tell, okay, we'll teach. Of course, we have spoken English, etc. But then we are looking at them coming to the city and then struggling. We wanted to have to lead a sustainable life within the village. Why they need to even come out? We are planning organic farming, but as you said, organic farming has its own challenges. But then what you mentioned about simple sustainable farming, groundwater depletion, about the sewage water, etc. So all these kind of things, if we can do that, that would really be, it's a great idea. I think it's good that you told me now, because this is something that we had forgotten, to be very honest. We totally forgot after COVID. We never discussed this again. So it's time to maybe go back to the drawing table, whatever, to the boardroom or whatever, and then again start discussing, how we can involve the youth and maybe even the younger farmers. I don't think the older farmers will be receptive to the idea, because they have set the idea what to do and all that. It's not possible. But yeah, having said this, if you know T. Narsipura, there is a district slightly backward near Mysore, T. Narsipura. So there we did attempt, actually. It was a big failure. Sorry to say, but it was a big failure. We wanted to start something like this, and it was during the COVID period, 2020. I remember it was September 2020, height of COVID. We tied up with, you'll be surprised, it was a legal kind of a forum where they provide free legal advice to the poor people, the villagers. They were very impressed with this idea about afforestation, etc. But then a lot of politics came in between. They were not allowing us to plant trees because they have grabbed the forest area. So there are a lot of politics also involved. We need, of course, we need some blessings. We also visited the education minister, Suresh Kumar, who was the education minister, just to get his, because we realized that unless we have blessings from these politicians, you certainly need them to drive certain initiatives. But then it went into cold storage. I think, thanks, Biswa, for bringing this up. I am certainly going to discuss first thing tomorrow. I will not wait a day more, and then revive this initiative once more. No. And maybe if you are in Anical, and maybe you can give us some hints where we can do that. That will be a good starting point for us, because Anical is also.
Sir, I've already sent a note on LinkedIn. We'll be connected. See, my whole idea and my pain point here is we are not able to, we cannot, as you rightly said, we cannot convince the old farmers, like traditional farmers, right?
Yes.
And people, as you know, when it comes to money, there is no passion, right? So I have seen farmers who have dug a pit, who are storing rainwater, and they are using drip irrigation methods. But on the other side, there are farmers who just cut down timber. For quick timber, they'll cut down eucalyptus, again leave it, and again with the rain, and they grow in no time like weeds. And that depletes the groundwater and so on. And consider this year where you did not get a rainfall and already there is a scarcity. It adds like ooze, added further burden to the ooze. So that is what I thought, if we can pass this message to the parents through the children, right? So the children, like the young one, when they grow, they said, Dad, my sir told me that, what you're doing is wrong. We should not do this. So, I mean, rather we can do this. So then they'll say, okay, I'm not being a right example for my kids. right? How much gets adopted is something that that is again a question. But what I'm saying, sir, since you are in the field, so I was just thinking out loud.
Yeah, no, it's good that you brought up, and I'm glad that it was not a one-way, because I was worried that it'll be a one-way. But I think making it interactive has really helped me, because I'm also getting ideas from you. And now Ananta pointed out that we are targeting 8 to 12. Why 8 to 12? I think I told before that I'll tell you the reason, because we have seen involving even 9th, 10th standard or 9th, 10th grade kids did not give us good results. They were not attentive during the session. They were not participating enough. Of course, I don't know whom to blame or what to blame, but then the children who are between 8 to 12 are the right people. They are really smart. They really pick up and they're receptive to these ideas, and they are the ones. So you see, the what we say, the cognitive ability starts building when you are young, not when no, you can't try to teach them even when they're 13, in their teenage, 13, 14, etc. You can't really teach them a lot of things. So that's the reason why we have kept the target group between 8 to 12, maybe third to fifth to eighth. You may or may not agree with me, but yeah. So that is what no, we decided to keep this target base. Yeah.
I didn't question that part. I'm sure you.
No. You didn't question. You mentioned you.
What I said is,
yeah, correct.
If we are looking at some, short to medium term impact,
exactly,
then we need to bring the parents. Correct. But yes, long term, these are the ones who will then grow. Probably, if they want to be in the farm, like Vishwa said, these people, this group of kids also should know. Along with their parents. So we will then kind of manage short, medium, and long-term aspects, bringing all of them together. How easy, difficult is something that you will know, because we are all we know how it is, how difficult it is to bring all those people on a particular day at a particular time to address them. There are different challenges there, but yes, we need to do that. Yes.
Yeah, sure. So I think we'll go to the next slide unless you have any more question. So so this is the project. You have to go one slide back. Yeah. So I'll quickly run through these. This has nothing to do with environment. It is more about education, setting up the digital libraries in the government schools or in the community centers more than government schools, because we get good amount of space. The advantage of going to the village is you get good amount of space and people willing to give space to us, to set up community centers. We have also set up Wi-Fi centers in these community centers in the during the COVID period, where we used to conduct or where we used to relay the sessions, which were shown on in Karnataka. It was DD Chandana. Most of them did not have access to the television set or even an app. So we were helping them through these Wi-Fi community centers. And today they are being used as libraries, both physical, and we also have a library in the form of desktop computers, where there's a lot of online books that are made available, and all through Pratham. So they also have a wonderful platform called Story Weaver, where we have downloaded the books and where they can access these books. And then we have the other one. The second one you see is financial literacy. So here, coming to you, Ananta, you said involve the adults. So here what we do, if you see point number 3, mothers are also encouraged to join the events. So this financial literacy is all about importance of savings, importance of money, why you should maybe look at government schemes, because most of them, they go to landlords who really cutthroat interest rates, etc., that they have to face. And so all these things are done through either storytelling. So we do recently we did a puppet show with storytelling to give to convey the message, and we also asked the kids to form 4 teams. So so last time what we did is we got kids from 4 villages, because most of these villages are adjacent to each other, in the cluster. So each village, they nominated about 8 children or 8 students who performed a play on each topic. Like, for example, importance of saving, importance of taking an insurance, or not going to to the the local zamindar or landlord to get loans, and one more theme about medical insurance. So these were the 4 themes that they they took up and performed a play for about 10-15 minutes, and we gave them prizes. So we also encouraged the mothers to join. We didn't want because the indirect, the target was the women from the community. So most of the mothers, they came along with the kids and what's that? Because we could not do it for mothers alone. It is not. Or rather, it will be a little tough to bring them together. It was easier to bring the kids and then ask the mothers to come and join. And then the third one is about values and character. So this is something that if you see the image on the right side bottom, children are watching the videos, right? So these are all stories contributed by leading storytellers. So this is one lady called Ramya. So she has contributed a lot of stories in Kannada. So these are all 8 to 10 minute stories on values, character, caring for the environment, and about great leaders, all about their life and how they have come up in life, etc. So this is done through storytelling, where we show it through show online to the kids in the community centers or in the government schools. So we have impacted more than 700 kids so far. Again, 8 to 12 is the age group that we are targeting. Of course, we don't stop anyone coming or those who are above 12, 13, 14 to join. But then we have not seen good response coming from the older students. And this we have done in 6 districts in Karnataka, and here you have seen Maharashtra as well. Because one of my cousins, so he actually wanted to take up this initiative in Maharashtra. So we are doing it in Igatpuri. I think some of you are from Maharashtra, you may know. Igatpuri is near Nasik, and in Thane as well. There are a lot of slum children there. There's a community community center for slum children. So we do it for these kids as well. So these are the 3 initiatives that come or they're part of Project Nyanshala. So any questions here from anyone?
On the financial literacy that you're training the women and others, is it only the training program, or do you also kind of help them? Because there is one NGO, I mean, I saw some videos, etc., where they used to tie up with the Anganwadi ladies who are there in most of these villages, right? So once you do the financial literacy program, you can have a list of those ladies, and probably that lady will again reach out to them to get them whatever help they need in terms of bank account or
No, I'll come to that later. So that's another initiative. That's another initiative. This initiative, and we are not talking theory here. As I said, it's all about. Last time you can see there's a lady with kids there with the puppets. Can you see that? The second box, the bottom left one, you can see a lady with the kids along with puppets. So we brought that, or we took along that lady. She's an expert puppeteer and storyteller. So she narrated a couple of stories, and these are all about financial literacy. Somebody harassing, or a lady lost her husband because of not saving enough or not taking a policy, insurance or something. So these were some stories, with a nice little bit of masala and all added to that, and then puppetry, etc. And then we, as I said, you can see the next one where you can see a scene from an hospital where one student is lying down there, right? So that person has not taken an insurance policy, accident insurance policy, and how that person is suffering, and then his wife is going and begging before a landlord to take a loan. So all this is done by them, by the storyteller. We don't conduct any theoretical kind of thing, because I know it will put them off. Just go and talk to them about go to the blackboard and do an educational session, like if you have seen in the previous initiative. But there it is required, because we have to talk 1 hour and then we take them outdoors to do that. But here you can't make it pure theoretical kind of a session. So here we involve storytellers, puppetry, then they have to perform. The children themselves have to perform. So we give them training. It's not that they just come there. We send someone from here to train them for at least 2 weeks, and then they perform for about 10-15 minutes. And the mothers also come and so they also get an idea about why it is so important to save, or to open a bank account, etc. So it's a very basic level. So the point that you talked about will come in the next slide. Anand, can we go to the next slide now? I think we have to take a quick time check. 7:40. So I'll not talk much about this because I think most of the NGOs might offer spoken English course, because a lot of NGOs do that. But this is little different. Reason being, we don't target the kids directly. Being in the edtech world, I know how difficult it is to get the attention, or rather the attention span of these kids. We have seen during COVID itself how much these kids have suffered. Not just urban areas, at least they were better off, but in the rural areas, most of them never came back to school again. So online never works, especially in the rural areas. So we said, okay, why don't we target the teachers? As I said earlier, I've also seen the quality of teaching and the quality of teachers themselves. I've met few English teachers, who could not even speak proper, sentence in English. I'm not saying all, I'll not generalize, but then there are few who are in that category, who are not able to speak in English, or rather form a grammatically correct sentence in English. So then we thought, why don't we involve these rural government, or rather the rural teachers, not just government, it could be anybody from the rural areas who can be part of the course. But then we found a lot of resistance coming from the headmistress or the headmaster. That was very sad. I don't want to go into the details, but the initiative is not doing so well. Though we tried our best to attract the attention. It's not just English teachers. We thought even the other teachers as well, who are not teaching English subject, but other teachers who could benefit. But then other than one NGO near Igatpuri, where they have tribal students coming there, hearing and speech impaired and intellectually disabled kids who come there. So we did a course for them. That was the last. We tried attracting these teachers from Karnataka, but so far we have not had any success. But yeah, coming to the college girls, this is something the need of the hour for them. So we got good success here. These are college-going girl students from semi-urban or from the rural areas who have studied in vernacular medium, and they have joined English medium college now, and then they are struggling both academically and also when they come into the final year, they struggle when they have to attend the interviews or to even appear for competitive exams. So this is the need for them. So we have seen good response coming from the girl students. And our teaching method is a little different, because since I come from an edtech, so I know how to engage the kids, not just simple teach them English theoretically. We have interesting PPT slides with animations. Then we use short stories, we use audio files, videos, small short videos, quizzes, through Google form, or even quiz within the session. And it's basically a fun-based activity, and we don't focus so much on grammar, because that is something that puts them off. The grammar is there, of course. Without grammar, you cannot speak English. But then we have not given so much prominence to going deeper into the grammatical aspects. And these are all like the basic courses are for about 12 sessions, and then the advanced course is more about electives. It is all about making them converse in English, and we put them on to a mentor along with them. So that comes as part of the advanced course. And we also record the session, and this is all done on GeoMeet, which is a very cost-effective solution for us. The course material is also made available. Reason being, be it college students, or the rural school teachers, we want them to take it up later on with their students, in the classroom, face to face. Even the college students will tell them that you don't. It's an option given to you, but then it's good that you teach children in your community who want to learn English. We give them that option. But for the government school teachers or from the rural school teachers, we tell them that you have to have a minimum target of teaching at least 10 to 20 students. So about 20 teachers have joined the program from Igatpuri near Nasik, and about 12 college students so they have undergone a course. So this is a fairly new initiative. We are also looking for volunteers to support us to teach English. So far, it's all within the circle of friends. My wife also teaches. No, she is also part of the teaching community as a tutor. So this is where this is all about this initiative. Any question on this? Any point or any suggestion for this particular initiative? Anyone? I would maybe ask the ladies to ask me questions. So far we are all talking about. Most of our initiatives are women-oriented, girls. So if any lady has any question, or if you don't have, we can move to the next one. I think here this will answer Ananta's question. Yeah. So this is what I think you talked about, right, Ananta? So you can see this is the financial inclusion that we are calling it. We are not just saying it financial literacy. We are calling it financial inclusion, because this is a community, the underprivileged, it could be, the housemaids in urban areas, it could be housemaid, the security guards, or anyone, even these gig workers. Most of them are not aware about the financial rights. So many government schemes are available. Our PM keeps talking about spreading this, but sadly, that does not happen at the grassroots level. The politicians are more interested in getting votes than spreading, this kind of education among the people, which is left to the NGOs finally. So we found that, during a quick survey that we have taken, just 2 out of 10 were aware about the government schemes. And I'm talking about central, not the state government schemes. There are a lot of central government schemes that are available. Just less than 2 are aware about even Jandan. Like when we were even talking to, you can see 2 groups here. The left side was in Bangalore, which was done close to my place in Jayanagar area. There were about 60 people who came. You can see the women, most of the women came, and they were all street hawkers, housemaids, who are working for maybe a small shops, petty shops, etc. So these were the people we targeted. And we brought in experts to talk about that, about the various schemes. You can see a lady who's giving them the knowledge about these schemes. So we talked about the Mudra loan scheme, the life and accident insurance schemes, the pension schemes, opening of Jan Dhan account. Again, here we were surprised. Out of 60, barely 8 or 10 within Bangalore city. I'm talking about 8 to 10 knew about a Jan Dhan account. And what we did is, if you see the last photograph here, the IDBI bank. So what we did is we tied up with them, and we got very good support. And they said, throughout India, if you need any help, they have 2,000 branches support. We are there to help you. So we conducted a camp, because most of them, they told us openly that we get a lot of knowledge, etc. A lot of NGOs, they come and give us knowledge, gyan, and they just vanish. After that, we don't see any result. We want to become beneficiaries. How do you help us? So that is when I thought, why don't we tie up with the bank and then take them along with us to the bank, give them some respect, because most of them we have heard that they don't even get respect when they enter the branch premises, and they are made to open, accounts where they have to keep minimum balance, which is not less than 5,000 today, and they really suffer, because of that. So Jan Dhan account, is a zero balance account, and they get a lot of benefits. If they get the card, the debit card that comes along with it, they get a lot of benefits: free accident insurance, life insurance, and then for nominal amount they can also go for pension schemes, etc. And then there is PMJ, Jan Arogya scheme. Jan Arogya Yojana. Hardly people are aware of that, because they get 5 lakhs coverage for a family of, I think there's no limit on the number of family members, but they get a coverage of 5 lakhs per family per annum without paying a single rupee as premium. Most of them are not aware. I think none of them were aware. In the 60 who came from Bangalore, none of them were aware. So we even helped them how to apply for PMJ, etc. Because we have seen a few deaths that have occurred recently due to accident, or a lot of these guys, they drink, alcoholics, so and then their wives suffer. They don't have, they have never taken an insurance policy before, so they were not aware about these schemes, and also the medical schemes. On the right side that you see here, this is a community of, so they belong to a minority community, and they are all artisans, weavers, artisans, etc. This was done in Sidlagatta. So this is in Chikkabalapur district, which is about 70-80 kilometers from Bangalore. This is something that I did myself, for these women, because I got some experience, because thanks to the first event. So I did this myself here, explaining to them about various schemes. And again, in this group of 40, just one lady knew about Jan Dhan, and she had a Jan Dhan account. The rest 39 were not even aware of Jandan. So that is how sad, this thing is, the knowledge dissemination that happens at the grassroots level. It's very sad. But again, this initiative cannot grow unless I get volunteers. For the last 6 months or so, I've tried to get volunteers, but so far I've drawn a blank. Because the kind of volunteers that we need here are somebody who is who has empathy, who understands the problem of these underprivileged, who has some amount of time to go and get these people, because they have to conduct a camp. I even said, that why don't you look at an apartment complex within Bangalore, which is not less than 1,000, 2,000 apartments, and do it within the apartment complex. You'll have a lot of these people, the target community that you can get from here. But then somehow this hasn't grown as much as I had envisaged. We have done just 2 events and all with our personal intervention. Unless we get volunteers who want to take this up, because I was willing to give them a detailed workshop on how to take that up. There was a tie-up already available with IDPI Bank across India. So there was not a problem with conducting camps. But yeah, dearth of getting volunteers here for this initiative. So that has stopped us from going further. The last slide, Neha, it's not a slide, it's basically the end. Yeah. So I wanted to maybe share a couple of messages here that tree planting plays a very important role in climate sustainability. Like somebody said, that the best time to plant a tree is now after 20 years. There are a lot of quotes that keep going on, but then how many people really are interested or really keen about planting trees? So this is something, and even I've learned all this in the last, to be honest, last 2 or 3 years. Prior to that, even I was one among that crowd, of people who hardly bothered about planting trees or about the environment. So all this is thanks to my experience with a couple of NGOs. And then the other point I wanted to mention here is, if we have to change anything, in, not just rural India, anywhere in India, we must reach out to these young children, in our villages or in towns or cities, because only they can take it forward, because they are the next generation. We are handing over a planet to them, and we have to be responsible citizens to hand over a sustainable and environment friendly planet to them. But I don't know how much of that we are doing it today, to be honest, and how much of that we are responsible for, we don't know. So it's all left to us, the seniors or the adults, to hand over a better planet, a sustainable planet to these young kids. So with this, I think you can unshare now. You can stop the sharing, and if you have, I think, just five minutes more, or maybe 10 minutes more, if there are any questions on these initiatives or anything that you want to ask me, it's open. And I want few ladies to ask me questions, please. Yeah, Ananta, I think you are ready. Mr. Ananta?
No, I didn't. I think I asked all the questions.
Yeah. No, you asked me about financial inclusion. Did it answer your?
While you're educating people, as a next step, because see, they go back home, how much they captured, and then kind of putting into action. Is there any way you can connect back with those people? Is where I said there are certain NGOs which does work with the Anganwadi. There are ladies, the girls, etc., who are working in those specific rural, villages, etc., who actually can connect back with them, saying, okay, these are 4 or 5 things. If you don't have, how can I help, etc. And they take a nominal fee because they have to travel, etc., and do all that. So they take a 50 rupees or 100 rupees, and then get their bank account, medical insurance, anything which is related with government. So there is a website these guys have created, where it talks about all the, I think there are 66 different programs which are run by the government for these people. And across them, they first of all find out which person is eligible for those, and then help them out getting those done. That's very important, because you have educated, but if you don't close it, then there's no benefit. So exactly, are you kind of looking at that aspect as well?
Yes,
that's where
absolutely. Absolutely. See, that's the reason where I mentioned in that slide. I think, I'm sorry, I can't go back to the slide. I've asked Neha. There's one.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
last mile support that I mentioned, no? Because as I mentioned, there's no point just giving gyan, knowledge, and then vanish. And that's what they also told us, when we started in Bangalore. That no, there are other NGOs that have come, they have given us knowledge, and they've just vanished. We want handholding, support. That's what we did. And even today, that 60 didn't end there actually. That 60 has become 120, 200 now, because that word has spread among their community. There's a huge now from Basongudi, it has gone to sorry, if you're not from Bangalore, and I'm talking about these areas, because we are from Basongudi, Jayanagar. So it has gone to Banshankari and some other areas now. No, they are all coming to us. And now my wife and me, we have become the point of contact for them, for helping them. And of course, IDBI Bank has supported us so far, and they are still open to opening these Jandan accounts. The problem, as I told, most of them fear going into entering the bank premises because they're shooed away. That's what they told us. In Kannada and all.
There
Just
is,
shown
so
or you come with money. Yeah.
Since there is no knowledge, there's always a scare.
And I'm talking about banks like Canara Bank, State Bank. I'm not even talking about ICICI or HDFC. I'm talking about public sector banks where you see these CEOs, chairmen, they go out and talk that no, we want to bring financial inclusion. They talk big things in the forum, But when it comes to practicing it, just ask any manager what kind of targets they have given them for financial inclusion. None. That is very sad actually. I've written to a few of them, saying you talk in big forums, but when it comes to giving targets, you give targets only to get HNIs, you give targets to get high value deposits, etc. But have you given target to your managers to get these poor people involved? And now today I'm reading that RBI is now pushing for, or even Modi is pushing for, these people to open Jandan accounts, etc. But then, the push is coming only at that top level. But then down the line, even from his ministers, or even when BJP was in power in Karnataka, how much have they done to spread the message? So that's very sad. It's only at the top CEOs, but at the ground level, what's happening? Sorry to say, but absolutely disappointing, to see.
So that's the reality today. That's the grim reality today.
Correct. And as I said, the 60 people there were hardly few people who knew Jandan. In the 40, at least we thought rural areas, they will know Jandan. Only one Muslim lady among the 40 ladies who came, they were all Muslims. Just one lady knew about Jandan. So it was all, the entire thing about, people are aware about Jandan and all. We talk, we talk about all the leaders and all, we say about all these things. People like today I read 65 lakh people they have taken benefit of Jandan in the last few months, but I don't know where these numbers are coming from. So what I've heard is these numbers are all fudge. I'm sorry, this speech is getting recorded, but I'm not scared because I've written to the PMO I've written to the PMO many times actually, even to Modi, that ground reality is different. You talk there's 65 lakh crores, etc., having Jandan, etc. But then you go to any village or even in Bangalore, you come and ask how many of you have Jandan. It's very poor actually, very poor.
That's the scare, while we are talking about a simple bank account opening, and we are talking about sustainability programs, and we are talking about educating everyone to be aligned with what's the net carbon, this thing. Can you imagine how difficult it is in a country like India, where probably 20% understand, but 19% of them will not even think about doing it. But the 80% doesn't even understand. How do we go and implement those, or even educate them to that? If they've just not been, it is almost 9 to 10 years where they're talking about all this bank account. And we are still in a stage that you are talking about, then that's a scary part of
in fact, just as an anecdote, I even tried approaching, like somebody said, okay, why don't you go to senior bankers or people who have retired from insurance companies? They could be your ambassadors or they could be volunteers. But sorry to say, there was not one soul that I got, from that entire pool of people that I approached, for this financial inclusion, because it can't be run by one person alone. We need an army of people who want to bring that change, and they need to empathize. The first thing is empathy. if you don't have that empathy, everything falls apart. Empathy is one, knowledge comes next, like how to do it. Tie-ups,
Right.
as I already said, we already have tie-up. They don't even have to struggle and know, okay, which bank to go and all. Already tie-up is in place. The head of IDBI Bank has approached me and said, you are doing a great job. At least he was supportive. He said, my network of branches will help you, or this initiative. So tie-up is there. All that we need is people with some kind of passion or maybe empathy, and then to take forward this initiative. I've even talked about not even going out looking for people. Like what we did is we went across the various streets in Basungudi and Jayanagar, calling them for this. They don't even have to do within their own apartment complex. No, in Bangalore, anywhere, Pune, Bombay, today the apartment complex is not less than 1,000, 2,000 apartments. You do it within the apartment, you will get hundreds of them who need Jandan account or who need this kind of financial support.
Yeah,
That. Then, yeah, little disappointed. Then sometimes I think, like we have to move ahead. We should not think wide. Maybe it will succeed in the future. You should not give up so soon. It's just started in February 2023. We should not give up. Maybe you never know what will happen. So we have an ex-chairperson of ICICI Bank, Mr. Maya, who is our neighbor. He was very passionate. So he said, I will donate you some amount. You print booklets. So we printed booklets in Kannada and other local languages. But again, the challenge here is how many of them can read? Most of them cannot read Kannada also. Forget giving them English out. Kannada also they could not read. So even that failed. We tried giving booklets. We printed thousands of booklets about all the schemes, what they should be doing, whom they should approach, all these things. But then even that didn't work out because primarily the education is lacking, within even that community. They can't even read. That's the biggest challenge that we have. We have to do these kind of live programs, and it can't be done online again. It has to be done offline. So that's the other reason why we don't get volunteers, because most of the volunteers we go to, 90% of them prefer online volunteering. There are hardly 5 to 10% who will say, okay, I'll come to plant trees. I'll come to for the school sapling also. We struggle to get volunteers because thanks to COVID, it has made us all lazy. We all love to come before a, Zoom or Meet or Teams or all these things, and then so.
No, Arvind sir, you're totally right. But I would blame the Bangalore traffic also for that.
Yeah, traffic,
If you
exactly.
ask me, I get scared. If you call me from Anekal to Empal, Yashwantpur, I will be scared to come.
Exactly.
My passion goes for a toss.
No, that's a good point. Even that also we have realized. No, we are interested. We want to come, but I stay in Whitefield. So coming from Whitefield, this area that we are doing. If suppose we do it in say Jayanagar area, for them, it's a like a how it is in Bangalore. So this is another challenge that we face. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're a great motivator for people like us. I think we are all still thinking that we will do something and all that kind of a scenario, and you've already moved. You're probably 2-3 steps ahead. You stand as a good motivator to some of us to step in there and start doing. Probably we should connect.
Yeah, sure. I'll be happy.
And probably wherever we can. I mean, wherever I can add value or I can take some inputs from you, etc. Something I look forward to. Thank you so much. I think
in fact, the inputs that have come from you, I've noted down all these points. Your Anganwadi workers is what we have not targeted so far. I think that's a great medium for us to reach out to the underprivileged at least in the villages, and we can give them a small amount because they also live in a very pitiable condition. They get very low salary.
Give them a list of things and then ask them to go and every account that every person they touch upon and get done, you should just incentivize them a little.
Correct.
That motivates them to go reach maximum number of people.
It's a point that I've noted down, and also the sustainable farming that was suggested by Biswa. So I've mentioned that as well. So these are something that I'm going to certainly take it forward. And I have to really thank my wife because we always say, for me. And I was the single sole earning member in the family. It's not that my wife was working. I had some kind of cushion. So when I took that plunge in 48, when I became an entrepreneur, again, it was a huge risk. But of course, it did quite well because NR Group purchased or rather bought over that idea and all these things. There was not much of capital or assets, but they bought over the idea. So it's a good price, etc. But then I was very lucky to get the cycle group people. But then when I jumped into the social sector in 2018, it was a huge risk actually. One is your how much savings you have. So a lot of friends, they keep telling me from IBM info, oh, we get so much inspiration from you looking at your videos, your updates and all. We want to become like you in 1 year, 2 year. I said, there's no time frame. You can't keep a time frame, 1 year, 2 years. I did it all instinctively, like I don't know what word to use. No, it all happened at the spur of the moment. Even my coming into the social sector, as I say, was by accident. It was not like I had planned after quitting IBM that I'll get into social sector. I was an entrepreneur, but then all this happened. I don't know. Maybe God wanted me to do that, or maybe it served the purpose of my life. I mean, my wife supported me a lot. She's a homemaker and she supported me a lot. To be very honest, my parents, even till date, they are not liking this idea that I've jumped into the living such a good cushy job with IBM, and I was in a very senior position there, and that too in area like big data, analytics, risk analytics, etc. And then going to the village. Earlier you were traveling to so many countries, and now you're traveling to villages. It was not even today, even till date, both are in their 80s. They have not digested the fact that I have come into the social sector and impacting people. Maybe they will realize it someday. But but my wife has supported me. Your wife has to support you. That's what I always tell them. Your wife has to support. Importantly, it's not your individual decision to jump into something like this. So with that, I end my talk. It's not a speech or something that you are all expecting. It was more like
it's
friendly
the
discussion.
Passion is coming out. You can't stop talking about whatever you have gone through, etc. I think it's a good session that we had. Very practical, no jargons, etc. I think it was clearly understood what you are trying to do and how you've jumped into it. We should connect probably offline and see wherever we can kind of come together. I would need to kind of reach out to you and see wherever I can help or wherever I should take some input from you.
You are based in Bangalore, right, Mr.
I'm based in Bangalore. I'm in Sarjapur Road.
Oh, okay, great. So Neha, how do we, give them the information about my one is LinkedIn profile or my email ID? How do we?
I can share it with all of them.
You can share, my email ID or my phone number, I think was there, or you can reach out to me either on email, phone.
Contact is also fine. LinkedIn is anywhere there, and
LinkedIn is there. So I'm very active on LinkedIn as well, because this is a very good medium to reach out for the NGOs.
Absolutely no nonsense, I feel.
Not like Facebook.
It's absolutely no nonsense medium.
Yeah.
We at least I feel LinkedIn is more like a law of universe. So what you want, it gets you that. So the analytics, the whole world of data analytics. So if you like or love something, it keeps giving you that with the basis of data.
Sure.
So if you like sustainability, it will get you all the stuff with sustainability. So it's like that these days. But I've sent you a request. I think Basanna sir has already joined quite late.
I was on the other session. Sorry, Arvind, I couldn't join early.
Sorry,
but I'm sure you had a good session today.
Sorry, who is this?
Sir, your friend Basanna, Mr. Basanna. You talked about that.
So now I switched on my video so you can see me.
No, actually, I was telling them the background of our discussion last week, where you said you don't have to talk jargons or theory and all. Just talk about your experience, like from a capitalist to socialist. So I said I have not become a socialist now. Some part of capitalism is still there, because who has to run the NGO? I have to run it. So with some capital, I have to run the NGO. No? So I can't become 100% socialist. I have to retain capitalism to run the initiative. So thanks a lot for inviting me. So it was nothing to do about the pure play subject, sustainability, etc. It was more about sharing my experience, my journey, and about the NGO and few of the initiatives which are actually impacting, or rather helping sustainability, and bringing children into those causes. That is very important. The younger generation have to get involved more than the adults, because they are the ones who will take care of the planet. We are handing it over to them, children.
Absolutely, Thank you so much.
And thank you, Arvind sir. It was pretty insightful.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for such a interesting and motivating session. And I think it encouraged all of us to act now and do something, to the best of the possibilities that we could act on. And thank you so much for your time, and thanks to everyone for joining and asking such thoughtful questions.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Neha.